Hi everyone, this is Jarrod Nickel, Executive Director of ProjectCoe.com. Today I'm going to be talking about Ninja Gaiden II for the Xbox 360. This is one that many people have been emailing Project COE to ask when we were going to have our review up, so hopefully you guys enjoy this one. The original Ninja Gaiden really changed the way we look at action games, and I gotta admit, for me, I was just totally blown away. I never expected the Xbox, the original Xbox, to be able to create something so beautiful, so lush, and just so balls to the wall hard. Man, that game just like destroyed me. I had to play that for like a solid year before I was able to actually complete it. Anyways, so when it came time for Ninja Gaiden 2 to get announced, and Microsoft said that they were going to come on and co-publish it, I was really excited. And for the most part, it's turned out fairly well. It's not as good as I was hoping, but it's pretty damn impressive. I'm not going to talk about the storyline because, truth be told, the story is absolute garbage. Really, it's like all over the place, and it's actually worse than the original. It's just like whatever. But the point is, with Ninja Gaiden, who cares? You're still Ryu Hayabusa, and that's all that matters. You're going around kicking butt. This one deals with like the CIA. It's got the Arc Fiend in it, and just all kinds of weird stuff. So let's just jump right into the gameplay, because I know that's what everyone's been asking about. And I guess we'll talk about a few of the good points first. The action in this one is like maybe double as fierce as it was in the original Ninja Gaiden. What that means is you can expect just far more adrenaline-pumping action. You've got a couple of new weapons, and I'm sure you've seen by now by these videos, the game is far more graphic. You can now sever limbs and cut off heads, and there's just blood gushing everywhere. And the new weapons help to showcase this. And so does the fiercer action. Now you've got all kinds of unique like situations that can arise. For example, you can slash off, say, a body part of a demon or of a ninja, and instead of them just like shriveling over and dying, they actually become pissed off, and they become more ferocious. And because of that, it sort of changes the style of gameplay quite significantly. So to you, now what you can do is he can actually go up really close to these pissed off enemies, and if you're quick enough, you press the Y button and you'll execute a finishing move, sort of like a fatality from the Mortal Kombat series. And let me tell you, it's quite grotesque, but it's just so satisfying. Now, while all these good things, are going on, there are a few issues that pop up. For example, I at least found that there were quite a few balancing issues, especially with bosses. It's not uncommon to have like a boss that you'll just totally devastate in maybe your first try or second try. And then I find that there's like really cheesy bosses that once you actually beat them, there's one in particular, when you actually beat the boss, the guy explodes. And you have no way of knowing this until after you do it. Now that's just kind of cheesy, Another major issue that I had, especially with the middle portions of the game, is the camera system. It seems to be like all over the place, and that's really disappointing, because the original Ninja Gaiden had some camera issues, and it could have used some work back then, and it's just sad that they didn't tweak it enough for Ninja Gaiden 2. But the problem with the middle portion of the game is you're in a lot of confined areas, and it's just so often you'll have enemies shooting projectiles at you, and you don't even know there's enemies there. So that's really cheap and annoying, if I do say so myself. Now, outside of the gameplay, which really is great, I mean, like I say, it has its ups and downs. It's really unfortunate about the camera and some of the balancing issues, how it can feel a little bit cheap. But I mean, overall, it is a truly worthwhile sequel, and it will blow your mind. And yes, you don't have to worry. I know there's a new save system where your save stations, or whatever you want to call them, they're located quite close together, and they replenish all your health. And there is a new health system whereby if you manage to defeat the round of enemies around you, your health will fill itself back up to a certain degree. But the truth is, once you start to get into the second half of the game, the difficulty is about equal to that of the original Ninja Gaiden. There are 2 difficulty settings, and I recommend everybody play on the easier of the 2 unless you're a veteran of the series. I guess, even if you are a veteran of the series, just so you know, there are 2 secret difficulty settings that you can unlock. To do that, you have to complete the more difficult setting first. Anyways, moving right along. As you can tell by the graphics here, the game is quite a technical showpiece. I mean, there are areas where, like the Hayabusa village, where you'll kind of question what you're seeing, if it's really Xbox 360 or if it's the original Xbox. But truth be told, overall, this is quite the impressive game. Now, the only problem is there are quite a few bugs in the game. For example, it's not uncommon to have enemy characters stuck in walls. And, you know, normally we don't mind this so much, but what can happen is you can actually have a boss have that happen to them. And that's just really unfortunate, because there were a few issues in the previous Ninja Gaidens. But, you know, we've moved on to new hardware here, so these problems should have been fixed by now. Same thing with the frame rate issues. There's one instance in particular that's just absolutely horrific, where it drops probably by 2 or 3 times what it should, which is really unfortunate. Anyways, outside of those negative aspects, there's really nice enemy designs, absolutely incredible special effects. The level design can be questionable at some points, especially when you get to like green foggy areas, which you're kind of like, what the heck? Because it doesn't really showcase all of the talent that Team Ninja has. As for audio, the dialogue is absolutely like horrendous. It's cheesy. It sounds like garbage. But the Dolby Digital soundtrack is fantastic, and the sound effects are just brutal, which I'm sure you'll all love. So, wrapping up everything, I'd say that Ninja Gaiden 2 is a perfect fan service. I mean, what other game actually lets you record various gameplay elements and upload those to the Xbox Live community in an action game like this? I mean, you know, we've expected it from like Halo 3 and stuff like that, but Ninja Gaiden doing it, I mean, that's just absolutely fantastic. And like I said, there's all kinds of unlockables and, you know, other fan services. This is your ultimate game if you were a fan of Ninja Gaiden. If you're new to the series, well, you know, just take it easy, and if you've got the balls, you may be able to get far. If not, well, then maybe this isn't for you. I've given the game an 8.5 on 10, simply because of some of the stability issues that prop up. Well, thanks for listening, and I'll be here shortly with a review for Secret Agent Clank and the big one, Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. Thanks again, everyone. Ciao.